Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Office Hours with the Professor. As always, I'm your host, William the Professor Collis, and let's get right into this week's episode. It's going to be a short Office Hours, but it's a really good one because we're going to talk about the Modern Warfare 2 beta. Now, why are we covering this? Well, because by all accounts, the beta, which went into its open period this past weekend, was a big success. It broke the top 10 for concurrent players on Steam. It's actually number 9 as of recording this podcast, at least as I see it on Steam charts. And, Games Radar, for example, reported that these concurrent player numbers are dwarfing titles like Rocket League and the most recent FIFA. And I think this is an incredibly impressive achievement for 3 reasons. First, this isn't launch. It's a beta, right? I get that it's still new and shiny, but also, betas always get a subset of players. So if it's this popular now, well, launch, you can only infer, might be more popular. Second of all is the game is paid. And I know technically this last open period of the beta was effectively open to everyone, but still, Modern Warfare is you're going to have to pay for it to play it at some point, and most of the top games on Steam are purely free games. And then the last reason I think this is impressive is just there's a lot of alternatives to Call of Duty, like every other Call of Duty currently out and playable. So it's not like this is the only thing in its category for you to play. This really is there's lots of Call of Duty options, so that also has some pull. So overall, I think this is just a really incredible achievement for the title. And the reason why I want to talk about that is why. I think this highlights the power of tradition in games. And, I saw IGN actually compare this launch to the pumpkin spice latte. And I thought that was just an absolutely perfect comparison. The reality is Call of Duty in fall is sort of just something you do as a gamer, right? Just like walking into Starbucks and oh, that's time to get that, right? And I think it is such an achievement. You see these numbers right now coming for this game, because not just because it's a good game, although I'm sure it is, and I don't want to take anything away from the developers, I'm sure it's an excellent game. The Call of Duties always are. But the tradition here is a real factor. More games need to do this to set up and own tentpole event dates. I think it's a really missed opportunity in gaming that we don't see certain dates more dates owned by streams of titles, just like you do say the film industry, right? But I get why this doesn't happen too, because it's incredibly hard to hit reliable, high-quality annual relaunches every year, right? In Call of Duty's case, it literally requires multiple studios working on overdrive, right? But for now, at least, Call of Duty is the title that's emblematic of this tradition in gaming and reaps these benefits. So I give this story an A+, not just because it's good to have a new Call of Duty out, but because of the potential tradition in sales and sort of tentpole launch date represents to our industry, and the clear reward it seems to exemplify for publishers that are able to achieve that goal. So thanks so much for joining me on this week's Office Hours, and I look forward to seeing you all next week.